Hey everybody, welcome to your first mini upper body series. So we're going to get started with a little bit of wrist prep today. So let's just start by circling, clasping the hands together, circling through the wrists. So we've got a little bit of work on the hands today where we'll be going into like a plank and a push-up position. We've also got some reverse sort of crab positioning as well. Let's just wave the hands. So we're just getting nice and warm, moving our wrists through a nice big plane of movement, or range of movements, different planes. So nothing is a shock to the system once we do get into our loaded work. So last little stretch exercise, we're going to have the hands flat on the floor and shift it forward, drop it back, then tuck the hands, and then you can shift forward again and push it back. So keep walking, warming up through the wrists. Okay, and then just hold one side. And then flipping it over, fingertips pointing towards your knees this time, palms are on the floor. Okay, and then we're going to flip over onto your bottom, and let's just go down onto the elbows. We've got a couple of shoulder shrugs here, so we're going to be sinking down into the shoulders, then rising up and away. So lower and rise. So we'll be incorporating a little bit of core work just into today because of the nature of our movement being in a plank position and the 4-point kneel. Our core should be working to support through the shoulders and lower back as well. Okay, and let's circle through the shoulders here. All right, now we're going to be coming into the first exercise, which is a crab position, but we're doing some tricep lowers. So your fingertips are going to be pointing towards the bottom, rising the hips up, sitting up and out of the shoulders first. And now this movement is coming from bending and extending the elbows rather than lowering the hips. So the elbows drop away from the body as you bend and then rise up and out, sitting up and out of the shoulders also. Lower and rise. So keep drawing your rib cage towards your hips. And we're going to go with 6 more full range. Remember, you can rest whenever you need to. 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to extend one leg away if you're feeling up to it, otherwise just keep both legs down. And then we're going to go pulling it in, reach away, lower down with the elbows, rise it back up, pull it in, away, down, and lift. So your option, instead of the leg, you can lower the hips. Rise, bend, extend. Hips, rise, bend, extend. We've got one more on this side. Swapping legs, in, away, lower, and extend. Triceps are on fire. Okay, both legs down again, little pulses for 10, 9, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, flipping straight over into our Superman opposing taps. So we're going to start with the arms reaching out overhead. We want to keep the chin drawn down towards the chest. And we're going to reach the right hand towards the left heel as we rise up, keeping your core as active as possible. So reaching around, squeeze, and control it down. Other side. Squeeze the bottom. You can lift the knee up a little bit higher each time you bend the leg. And let's go for 8 more. Control as you come down. 7. 'And last one. All right, going straight into our swan backs from here. You can either keep the feet just planted on the floor on your own, or you can push into the wall behind you or wherever you are. Okay, otherwise just keep them on the ground as much as you can. We're going to engage through your glutes and your core. We're going to rise up with the head and the arms, and then we're going to take the hands down towards the hips as you lift the chest as high as you can, and then control it all the way back down. So we're avoiding where you push the chin up. So we rise it up, control it down. Okay, keep breathing as we do this. Arms are hovering off the floor the whole time. And we're going to go for 10 more. 7, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we're going to push back into a child's pose from here. So bending the knees in, sinking it back, have a little breather. And next we're going to be going into our push-up sequence. So we've done this a couple of times over some different classes on our online program. So if you know what I'm talking about once we get started, go for it and move through it in your own time. Otherwise, what we're working on is we're staying on our toes for as long as possible without collapsing through the lower back with the shoulder blades. So we're keeping as rigid as we can. And our arms are going on a backward diagonal, and say you get to about here and then you start to kind of collapse or it doesn't feel as strong, you'll then control down onto your knees. So we're just going to whatever range you can, control to the knees and lower the chest down the rest of the way. We're trying to keep the hips elevated because this is going to help us. Once we push back up, we lift the feet. It's going to help us to keep nice and rigid as you push back up towards the ceiling. So we're avoiding where we flatten out and then roll up through the spine. Okay, we want to keep your core as engaged as possible, protecting through your lower back and keeping as much of the load as we can through the shoulders and the upper body. Okay, so let's go. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees off. Even if it's as soon as you bend the elbows, you need to come down. It's go to whatever range you're controlling through. Okay, so lower, lower, down. Drop the knees, lift the feet, rising all the way back up, tuck the toes to reset. Let's keep going. Lower. Core is active. Let's go 3 more. 2. And last one. Rise and drop it all the way back down towards the floor. The arms come out into our lateral position. We're going to lift the head up off the floor and the chest as well. Thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling, and we're going to lift the hands up. We've got some lateral pulses here. So squeeze, squeeze. You're pulling your shoulder blades towards each other. Arms are as straight as you can, so you're pushing the fingertips away from each other as well. Lengthening through your spine. Eye gaze stays down towards the floor. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we've got snow angel arms. So the chest is staying still. We're just moving the arms forward and back, hovering them off the floor. Let's go for 5. We're going back to the lateral lifts after this. 3, 2, and 1, and back out. Lift, lift. Squeeze the shoulders in. These hurt me. Keep going. 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. Snow angels. 6, 5, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, they burn. Shoulders, you might have felt biceps, triceps, all of the above are good. All right, so we're going to be coming back onto the hands now. You can stay on the knees for this next one. We've just got some shoulder taps in a plank position and some arm reaches also. So we're thinking about our rib cage towards our hips again, pulling the hips through as much as you feel comfortable, and we've got tapping, opposite hand to shoulder, tap, and then it reaches out in front, out in front. So it goes tap, cross, forward, forward, cross, cross. Hips are staying as square as you can to the floor here. Push the shoulders down away from the ears. Let's go for 5, 4. Keep breathing. 've lost count. Let's do one more. And forward. Okay, so we're going to drop down into a side plank now. Just on the elbow will do. And we're just going with a lower and rise. And the aim here is to keep the shoulder down away from the ear the whole time. This arm is staying as fixed as you can on the top, so it's as straight as you can. This might feel like more of a core exercise, but if you're like me and you're feeling pretty tired through the upper body now from all the work we've already done, I'm hoping that your bottom shoulder is feeling this work as a stabilizer. Okay, so keep pushing the elbow down into the floor, shoulder away from the ear, and we're reaching the top hand up. Let's go for another 5 pulses. 4, 2, and 1. Coming down, rotating through, lift and lower. Keep the core as active as you can by drawing rib cage down towards the hips. Shoulder is away from the ear. We're trying to be as stacked as we can on top of that bottom elbow. Let's go for 10 more. 7, 6, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Coming all the way down. We have one more exercise. It's a dolphin plank, so we're on our elbows again, either on the knees. It'll look like this, where we shift forward and then push it back. As much load as you can through the elbows to load up through the upper body. Okay, otherwise we're on our toes, shifting forward and in. Let's go for 10. 7, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Good job. Alrighty, so that is the end of our little mini upper body series. Feel free to repeat that as many times as you like. Otherwise, if that was enough for you, it was enough for me. Good job. See you next time.